Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're going to be automating the bellows and getting ourselves a stoked flame from the hibachi. Hopefully you guys are ready. Alright guys, so today we have a lot of stuff to go ahead and get done. I want to move a lot of our power over here, maybe even creating another form of power. The windmill is all fine and dandy, but there is another option. There's a couple options actually for generating power. And I want to try out at least another one of the windmills. There are two different types, and I think making another one would look really cool looking. We just need somewhere to put it. That's the issue. Finding somewhere to put this thing, because the other one is a little bit bulky, requiring a little bit more space. And I don't know. It's gonna be a weird looking thing to get going. But I think we probably put it over here in this area. And we'll get that going. Let's go ahead and get that started. We're going to need to get some power because I want to get this hibachi automation stuff going on over here because we're going to work on hibachi automation and the bellows. But I want to do that over here. I want this area in this kind of chamber maybe to be that, or we could possibly set it up in this main hall. If we set it up in the main hall area, we could easily do this. We could easily set this up. We could have our kiln going over here, which we'll have to get into eventually, and have that all placed. But I think it would look a lot better if we made another type of power generation. And we could, of course, stem that all the way across and get us what we need. We might even put it behind this wall. And then what we could do is actually make this kind of glass looking or have windows so we can actually see it. That would be kind of cool. But let's go ahead and check that out. So we are going to definitely need more axles. Axles are going to be a must. And we're also going to need a bunch of this hemp fiber. Because we're going to have to make some more paper. So there's quite a few. Let's go ahead and throw a few more stacks of this in here. And we'll balance that out. That's 28. That's still not enough, I don't think. Balance that out. That's 35. Let's kind of think of what we need. So, better with mods. There is the windmill. We're going to make the vertical windmill. It says, I don't think it's too much different from the normal windmill, other than the way it looks. It does require 8 wind cells, which is going to require 6 of the hemp cloth, and we can use the other wood for this as well, which will be perfect. So. Let's go ahead and see how much we're actually going to need for this. So we're going to need 48 in total, which is going to be pushing it a little bit. We're going to see how much we can actually get. There's 42. And I got to kind of split this between all of that. There we go. That's plenty. So 48 is what we're going to need in total to get this done. I don't want to waste too much because we're gonna need the rest of the hemp fibers for axles. Because we're gonna need to make rope. So let's go ahead and use the rest for making rope. There we go. That's 10. That should get us, a little ways. All right, we'll go ahead and throw that in here. With that, and we're gonna start building some stuff. So with those sails being ready to go, let's grab some oak slabs. And we can go ahead and make those sails. And there's 8 of them. We'll take the wind sails, throw that in there, and bam, we get a vertical windmill. This thing is very interesting on how it works. But we need to find a place to put it. And like I said, I'm thinking back behind the building here is going to be a pretty decent place for it. We will have to remove some trees and some grass, possibly. Just to get it in here and looking good. But I think right back here would be perfect for this. I think it would look good. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys can, of course, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about any of the builds that you see. And I'm open for suggestions, man. You only learn from other people letting you know. You can't learn unless you have some criticism. So, I think maybe this area would look good. Now, with the way the axles work, 1, you need to go up 7, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you can place down The vertical windmill? It says too few axles in a column. We need one more higher. So, technically... Okay, too few vertical axles in a column to place here. Need 7. Am I doing it wrong? I feel like I have 7. I feel like that's a thing. Maybe the torches might be getting in the way. I don't know. I'll figure this out. Let's remove them. This thing is pretty big, so we may be too close as well. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's what it says. Too few vertical axles in a column to place here. Need 7. Yeah, I think it has to do with the fact that I'm probably too close. Alright, so I want this thing to go up in the air a bit, so... I mean, we can use all that we have, I guess, for this. But I mean, this should be technically tall enough. And I did clear it out a little bit more. Oh, we're gonna take a big hit there. And let's just try it, let's try it. 7? Oh, there it goes. Perfect, that gives us enough headroom as well to kind of sit there. Nice. Okay, so yeah, this will not spin because we technically need a gearbox there. But other than that, this is looking good. Look at it go. Look at it go. So yeah, I think the issue we were having before is the grass was getting in the way for one thing. And yeah, we'll have some windows here. That way we can actually look out. And we can see this thing. Because this is a pretty cool looking thing. The windmill back here. And this is of course creating the power, the same power. So what we can do is actually use that and have it go underground. We will need, you know, gearboxes, which means we're going to have to make some more gears, which we can easily do. It's not that big of a deal. We have some more wood, so I'm going to spend some time over here at the chopping block getting some wood. All right, so let's go ahead and make some gearboxes because we're going to need these. We need plenty of them because we're going to have to route all of the power from over here to this, and I kind of like to seal the ground up a little bit by using a gearbox to cover the ground. It just makes things look a little bit nicer whenever we go to do that. So as you can see, I like to set one there so we don't have a hole in the ground, which looks kind of weird. And then we also can set that. So that's working. Don't want to jump too high in here, you know, might get your head banged there. But let's go ahead and go underground because we're going to be routing this all underground. Which makes things look a little bit nicer. So, let's go ahead and do that. We're going to have to pull this... We only have to go one space underground. Everything else should work pretty well for us. But we're going to be routing... Well, actually, we have to go 2 down, I do believe. Yeah, 2 down because of the way the gearbox is set up. 2 down, then we should be golden. So yeah, let's go ahead and clear that. Wow, that actually scared me. I thought there was like a drop-off. It's just marble. Wow. Look at me. But we have quite a few gearboxes at this point. So let's go ahead and turn this guy facing upward. And then that should work. There we go. And every 3, don't forget, every 3 we have to have a box. That's just how it works. And it's got to be all turned. And if you place them wrong like that, if you end up doing what I did, place them wrong, it's alright, just pick it back up. You're good to go. And as you see, that one actually turned the right way. Same for that. You can see it smoke. Let's go ahead and peek up here and see where exactly we're at. Okay. So we're at a pretty good distance here. And then we'll put another gearbox here. There we go. Okay, so things are looking good. This gearbox is going to have to work. We may have to put a gearbox here as well, just to get things, you know, going the way we want them. But for right now, this is going to work. So, when it comes to doing bellows, let's go ahead and take this bellows here. And we're also going to take the hibachi. Thank you. Let's also take all the levers, because we'll need that. We'll put that stuff over here. It's going to be a little bit different, but we'll have that stuff over in this direction. I think what I want to do is I want to have the bellows over here. blowing, not that direction, but blowing this direction. Like that. And it can actually blow, I think, 3 blocks in front of it. So it can stoke those 3 blocks. That's a thing that we can do. But I might actually, you know what? We might pull it. Yeah, we'll have to have it in the middle here. Let's go ahead and change that. I want it to be here. There we go. That'll work. Awesome. So we're going to take that, and we're going to have mechanical power being routed to it. And to do that, let's go ahead and change the way our gearbox works here. What I may do, it's going to look a little funky. We'll get this to work. Make sure this gearbox is hooked up the correct way. I think I'm going to extend this out so it goes behind this section, giving us a gearbox above ground. I want a gearbox like right here that pulls up. I think I want a gearbox like right here if I can get one there. That's the question. Can I get a gearbox right there? I think so. I think I can. Because right here is going to be a gearbox. Let's go ahead and route that. And then right here, we can lift this up, and then we can have a gearbox right here. Let's go ahead and turn this. There we go. Alright, so we're missing some gears, which is okay, or some axles. Let's go ahead and get the axles. We'll make a few more. Nothing too difficult there. Honestly, right now we have enough for 2 axles. And all we need is 1 axle hooked to this section. As you can see, it's going to send a puff. If we use a lever, we can turn this on and off. You see? And it works like a bellow. As if you were normally... the only bellows I've actually seen are hand cranked. But this one's like a mechanical powered one. And that works. That works. As long as I have some way to turn it on and off, that's awesome. What we're going to need to set up, though, is a way to do that. We may actually move it on this side. I don't know. Or we can even set it up facing this way. The things that we could do. Things that we could do. But I'm looking to have this central area, this right here, be where our hibachi sets. So, like right here, we can have our main hibachi. And what I can do is grab my lever, which I had a lever on me, but I did see there was one in this chest. There we go. I don't know. I guess I lost it somewhere. Anyways, we can power that. That gives us some flame. But if we do this, it turns blue. Now, we can do this manually for right now. See, it turns back to normal if it doesn't have a redstone signal, or if it's not receiving any kind of pulse. We're going to be able to automate that hopefully fairly soon. But we also need a way to shut this on and off so that way we can also get a normal flame as well. And we can use more than one. I think you can use a 3x3 of hibachis, and it'll speed things up for you. Like stoked recipes and such. So we do have a way of automating this that we can go ahead and get our hands on. But really, we need to take our cauldron here, and there's some things that we can actually now upgrade the cauldron with. So the cauldron, when placed above the flame here, as such, let's go ahead and place this above that. Oh, let me go ahead and grab that. There we go. And we place this above the flame. This will still, act as if it's just been lit. This will be a normal flame, and will do its normal stuff. But there are stoked recipes that once this flame turns blue, it's considered stoked, and this will actually work. So you can see Stoked Cauldron, and we can get glue, tallow, all kinds of cool stuff, as you can see here. So a way to do that is to take some of this leather, like a normal piece of leather is fine, and we can place that inside. Now it's going to not do anything until it sees that this is stoked. So if we continue to do this, it should turn into a stoked flame and start working. But we do have to keep at this. This is manual. This is a very manual process. And once I think it goes to a normal flame, it actually resets the crafting recipe. But this will get us glue, which is needed for some stuff in the future. But I'm kind of showing you an example of how you could do this manually if you wanted to. But honestly, you could jump right into full automation of this if you wanted to. It works just fine. Let's check this. So it's almost done. You just got to make sure every few ticks that this gets a blow, a puff of air, to keep that fire stoked. Now, if you do it too fast, it doesn't work. It really likes ticks. As you can see whenever the recipe is actually done, it gives a little poof of smoke, and bam, we now have glue from Better with Mods. And glue also works as, you can see, it kind of works similarly to slime balls and the way that it functions. But we can actually get wood blades this way, which we can use to make a windmill, which is another source of mechanical power, as you see outside. Let's go ahead and fill this in. And eventually we may build towers for this, like these towers that we have up there may become source power for these types of setups. Because you should be able to just push everything together and it should work. Okay, so now that we have this, let's take a look at possibly automating this, because it really doesn't take too much to automate, and we could do this fairly cheap. So all we need is some gearboxes, which we already have gearboxes. We're going to need a turntable from Better with Mods, which requires a clock. That's probably one of the most expensive parts of the turntable, but it literally is a redstone clock, which makes so much sense. Or can be used as a redstone clock, I should put it that way. Alright, we're also going to need some siding. And, by the way, we also got an advancement, or a quest done, because if you look here, you actually get this nice little display that tells you what time it is. How cool is that? So, let's go ahead and take this. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll finish up building this. Let's take, we need a wood gear, we need some stone, that's about it. So let's take some of the stone, and bam, we can place this all in here, and we get a turntable. How cool is that? Alright, so let me demonstrate kind of what the turntable does, because it has a couple different functions. One being that you need clay. You need some clay because it's going to be turning clay. As of right now, we're not going to use it for that function, so I'll probably demonstrate that later on. But let's go ahead and take some building material, and we'll get this all set up. So I'm going to go ahead and break that. That'll be used later on. We're going to extend this. I think we can actually leave it this level that it is, now that I think about it. We'll place the cobblestone back. Alright, so we're going to place a gearbox right here. And we need this to pull the power from this direction, like that. We need our axle. We're also going to need another axle. So let me go ahead and get the materials needed for that. I think we have everything, right? We have the rope. We just need the wood. Because all we need is one more axle. There we go. Alright, we're going to need an axle facing upward. And this is just a really cheap way of doing this, really simple. And you're going to place that turntable right there. Alright, you're also going to need a block to go here to kind of transfer what we're about to set up. Okay, so you can actually place any block up here. I'm just going to do, for texture reasons, this block, because it doesn't really change textures on the side. I'm going to put this to a different setting. This does have a few different settings, and it kind of slows it down. Let's go ahead and make a redstone torch. And you can actually see it moving. Take a couple of those, a couple sticks, and we'll make a redstone torch. So if you actually place this while this is moving, you will see that it moves. How cool is that? I still think that's too fast. I think it needs to go on this notch. And then 2 torches. Alright, and then we're going to be transferring some redstone signal. This is going to be one of our first redstone parts to work. So, if we put redstone here, it lights up whenever there's a torch. If we put that here, it's going to send power to this block. And it should bounce back and forth. Oh wait, I forgot, it turns the gearbox off for the main setup. We need this powered separately. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's get in here. I think there's actually a gearbox right here. So we're going to reroute the way we had this originally set up. And we're going to set this so that way the power that's being transferred is not going into this box anymore. And we'll take all of these pieces. We'll have it being transferred in a different direction. So let's do that. That's why I knew this was going to change eventually, but we have to set it up now. Okay. So there we go. We'll put a gearbox here. That's 3 away. I think this is even less materials. And then we need to rotate this gearbox. And then we'll have 2 gears going here. Rotate this gearbox so it's facing in the down direction. And then rotate this so that way it's getting powered that way. And guys, this should be set up. I need to get my dirt. We don't want mobs spawning down here, so... Oh man, these gears... They're not actually full block height, so it kind of messes things up. There we go. Alright, so that seems to be working. It's working, guys. That exact setup actually does what it's supposed to do. And it's a pretty easy way to do this. Now, it's not very hidden. We'll figure out how to hide these things later on. But for right now, it gets the job done, and that's what we need, right? Getting the job done, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. So, yeah, we have a stoked flame now. So now it's easy to make glue, but if you want to turn this off, you need to use a lever. And you need to use a lever back here. You can turn that directly off this way, or you can put the lever here and permanently turn the turntable off. Because if you give this no power, nothing's going to work. So if you want to just get a normal flame, just make sure you flip the switch. If you want to get a stoked flame, be sure to turn it on, and you get a stoked flame. How cool is that, guys? Oh boy, we got a problem. By the way, the stoked flame does create fire, but if you have the fire spread tick turned off, it doesn't do anything to the wood. It doesn't actually break the block. It's just going to create little blue flames, or little flames in the air. But anyways, that's how you automate that. I don't know, is that kind of cool? I really like the way this mechanic works. Now, like I said, each bellow, you can have multiple, you can have like 3 sitting here if you want. You can have another line back here. I don't know if this affects a 3x3 area or not. I don't remember. But I do know that it is pretty cool the way it works. You can actually put this lever, by the way, underground. And you can set up a, you can just keep it always powered on with a redstone torch if you want. That's another way of keeping those fully lit at all times. Or you can just turn it off. And there you go. Now, a way to make this look a little bit better. Because right now it looks kind of weird just sitting in the air. We can figure out a way to decorate this. And I don't know. I don't know if you guys like watching decoration stuff or how to do that. But I like doing it. I like making things look a little bit neater. So let's figure out a way to do that. So if we come over here like this, we can actually give it a stand. Maybe? A sort of place where it was setting. Maybe even... I don't know, maybe put like, we can probably make fence, right? You take cobblestone. We make a normal fence? Yeah, we can make cobblestone fence here. Make it look sort of like a table. Like an actual grill or something like that. I think that looks a lot better than not having anything at all. So this, even this little bit of detail adds a whole bunch. And you can still access your cauldron and everything. And everything should still work as normal. It just kind of gives a covering as well for the flame. Which is, you know, okay. So let's go ahead and actually, we'll put the slab back here as well. And everything's kind of covered up. Looks really good in my opinion. Looks nice. If you wanted to, you can even probably cover this up. I'm not going to because, so I can actually access it if I need to. It's gonna make it a little easier for me to get to that lever in the back. Yeah, guys, that looks really good. Well, guys, we got quite a bit done. I did go ahead and add this little top piece up here, mainly to prevent this fire from catching my wood on fire. It was doing that, so I think actually having a vent looks really nice. Along with it looking nice, we need to make a room specifically for this thing, so we'll eventually get rooms and stuff set up. I think this looks really good and is working quite well. This is honestly a really good setup in my opinion. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also drop a click on that notification bell. It really helps out a lot, so you guys can stay notified whenever I upload new videos such as this one. And guys, I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And as always, thanks for watching.